We was walking around in the mall, and what was surprising is that people was laughing, talking, showing pictures, and we were sitting up thinking, do any of these people know that this world is just upside down?
The world is on fire. The United States is on fire.
And then, Vaughn, you said, when I was in school, it was so hard for me to do what?
It was so hard to develop friendships and relationships. And if we couldn't make friendships and relationships here, we had friendships around the world.
And so maybe that's the problem. Maybe that people think that Russia and China is our friend. But what did I used to always do when you come home and you say, well, I didn't have a good day? You would say what?
I would say that I made a friend around the world.
So you want to read some of the friends around the world that we have? Because we're going to give a shout out to the friends around the world. And hey, don't drop us, because that ain't us over here trying to ditch you guys. That's somebody else trying to ditch you. But go ahead, Vaughn. This is what we used to do.
What we used to do is look at countries around the world as allies.
The United States has numerous allies around the world, often organized through formal alliances, treaties, and partnerships. Here are some of the key alliances and notable allies.
The NATO members. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization NATO includes 31 countries as of 2023.
Now hold it right there, because you know what? That might change, and that has started changing as we're reading out this list. Okay, so go ahead, finish.
We start with the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Norway, Denmark, Portugal, Iceland, Greece, Turkey, Czech Republic, Hungary, Poland, Bulgaria, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Romania,
yeah, there you go.
Slovakia,
Slovenia,
okay. Albania, Croatia, Montenegro,
good,
North Macedonia, and Finland.
Okay, now we got other key allies. I guess we got other key allies, for us. Like I said, this is a shout out to the allies, because I'm like, we didn't read China, and we didn't see who else, Russia, on the list yet. But I'm going to keep reading. Other key allies, in addition to NATO members, the United States has several key allies outside of NATO. Australia, ANZUS Treaty, Japan, U.S.-Japan Security Treaty, South Korean U.S. ROC Alliance, New Zealand ANZUS Treaty, Israel, strong military and economic partnership. They'll probably fire all of them, and then they got to call them back and say, hey, I didn't know he was my friend. Okay, because they're still looking for the nuclear people. Philippines, Mutual Defense Treaty. Singapore, Strategic and Partnership. Saudi Arabia, Strategic Partnership. Go ahead, Vaughn.
Regional partners. The U.S. also maintains partnerships through various regional agreements, such as Gulf Cooperation Council members Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and UAE. ASEAN, Association of Southeastern Asian Nations, members particularly through partnerships with countries like Indonesia and Thailand.
They're going to get you by calling them asinine, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're allowed to make mistakes. We're human.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So other global partners, the U.S. collaborates with various countries on specific issues, including India, growing strategic partnerships, Brazil, corporations in various areas, Mexico, and Canada through the USMCA trade agreement. And that's not the YMCA, like my boy's son, but this is the USMCA. And so this list has got many more people that we could have alliances with. But what is happening now to the United States that this list is crumbling as we speak?
We saw the Vice President J.D. Vance scold other German parties for not working with the ADHD.
What's the ADHD?
It was called the ADF. It was the ADF.
No.
in Germany.
It's ADHD. I love it. The ADHD. They got ADHD, because Benzo got ADHD and the other two got Asperger's. So that's okay. We
Yeah,
don't talk.
yeah. So it was the ADF political party in Germany. That's the far right party in Germany, which was known as having Nazi ties.
You want to do Steve Smith? What he said about
The Nazi salute. And then you also have, that's what J.D. Vance was doing.
But it wasn't a Nazi salute. What did Steve Smith say when J.D. Vance went over there and said, "This is a what?"
This is the warning, yeah.
And it was a what?
It was
an embarrassment.
It was embarrassment. It was an embarrassment.
Yeah. And he called him a what?
He called him a traitor.
He ain't got him no traitor. I think he got him an idiot.
He's an idiot, yeah.
Close enough.
He's an idiot,
Steve gets us going.
Yeah, it is. He does. He does.
But Michael Steele had us going too. And he was like, I don't know what's wrong with these people. They act like everything is cooking good and we doing what? What are we doing over here?
We're destroying the government over here. We're getting unqualified people we're firing way too many people. Just today, over 200,000 people were fired from the government. 200,000.
And you think we're making friends? We ain't got friends in the United States. So we got.
Yeah, they're obsessed with evading Canada as the 51st state. They're going after Mexico with President Salbert of Mexico as well. They even named the Mexican drug cartel as terrorists. And what that really means, if you do that, that will make it easier for the United States to invade Mexico.
But you know what? Leading up to all this, it's been a huge distraction. Because while they have us looking over there at all these things that's overwhelming us, what are they doing? They trying to take the what?
They're trying to take the government out like a non-violent version of January 6th.
Well, they're trying to take the judges out.
They're trying to take the judges out that obeys the law. They're taking out anybody that has faith to the Constitution that was never designed for blacks and minorities in the first place. But that's another time for another day.
So why did you mention it?
They're trying to take out the Constitution that y'all wrote.
Okay.
And they're trying to take out people that are loyal to the Constitution and not one man.
So we started off with Democrats and Republicans, which they weren't friends anyway. And then we went from what? Eggs to what? Go ahead.
Yeah, we went from eggs that causes inflation and groceries.
And then we moved from eggs and inflation to what?
To the nonsense like the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
And then we moved from, after we moved from all that chaos, then we moved to...
The plain chaos was more people dying. And then we're cutting our public health.
And then we moved from that chaos to the mayor that what?
The corrupt mayor, the dirty cop, which is Eric Adams, which is a dirty deal.
Okay. And after we moved from that chaos, then you had, was it Emile Bove or whatever his name was, moved to, say, oh, we ain't finna do anything what y'all talking about. We don't need to be your friends over here. We got this. And we're going to do it our way. Over there singing Frank Sinatra's song, My Way. But they got a surprise because those judges said, you know what, we ain't trying to be your friends. And we ain't trying to do your dirty work. And we're out.
We're out. That's one of those judges and also those attorneys of the Federalist Society. Because they're thinking about their own careers and their own freedom. And this is just the Conservative Federalist Society that's doing this, that resigned.
So, back to our list of NATO allies, all we're saying is that this was a big overreach. And it's enemies everywhere. People falling out left and right. And, the big enemy is the people because they all out of jobs. And they're like, you ain't no friend of mine because you said that you was going to raise those prices. And
You're trying to cut those prices up, inflation. You can't. But what's really causing inflation is the bird flu, okay? Which is the killing of the massive eggs. That's causing those problems of inflation. When I went to the grocery store, when we always go to the grocery store, there are limits of eggs. Like, for example, Costco is limiting the rationing of eggs.
so right there, we're going to hold it right there. Because, I like Hakeem Jeffries. I just want to tell Hakeem, don't you walk out here and talk about no damn eggs no more. We don't want to hear about the eggs. We don't want to hear about broken promises.
And we don't want to have it united with Silicon Valley too. Okay?
We don't want the government running our ship. That's what we're trying to tell you. Okay, so we ain't got eggs at our store. Point blank. And I don't want a thing that's sounding like Pelosi. You said give some suggestions. So we're out here and we're giving you a suggestion, Hakeem. We want you rock solid. When you walk out there, we want you supporting the judges. You all showing the people
and the attorneys,
because that way, you'll have more friends and relationship on that side, because you don't want to lose the people again. And I'm basically saying to you that I don't care about the eggs or the economy. I mean, it is important, but right now everything is so overwhelming, and we got to pick something. And Napoleon fought a lot of wars, and what happened to his butt?
He lost a lot of wars, and he was sent into exile eventually later on. And then he tried to come back, and he was sent into exile, even stronger exile, so he couldn't come back.
And that's what we're saying.
And then the Marionette to that, she was cut off with their heads. We're heading for that revolution again.
Well, we ain't trying to send nobody to the guillotine and all that, but it looks kind of crazy right now. But all I'm saying is, we got these friends, we have allies, and we're not trying to lose our allies. We read the list just to inform the people. China wasn't on the list. Russia ain't on the list.
China is more like a competitor.
Okay, but the bottom line is, maybe the confusion is that sometimes when you all come out and speak to us, you got to explain to who are our friends, because everybody don't know who their friends are, who our allies are. That's why we be telling people, you got to read. It's not all on the Democrats. It's not all on the Republicans. We got to do our due diligence also. But I don't mind coming out here saying, hey, look, we pulled this list up. Hey, I didn't see China's name on it. I didn't see Russia's name on it. I didn't even see them being a possible friend, but the way Tucker Carlson and them over there saying all this shit now, it looks like, this information is coming out as, here are our friends. They'll do, X, Y, and Z, and they won't.
They won't do it.
So basically, and I'm saying to the Democrats, this has changed. It is not Republican. It is not Democrat. It's not the eggs. It's not the economy. It's the people's lives and their jobs. If you're going to come across with a message, come across with, hey, we're going to be in this together. We're going to survive this. But the only way we got to survive is being on the same page at the same time and developing those relationships, trying to hold on to those friendships inside the United States and outside the United States. Because right now we're looking crazy. We're looking crazy as hell, And I don't want another. It feels to me like it's a Pelosi speech or it's a Schumer speech. I want a speech that when you come out there, you're saying, you know what, this is what we need to do, because now we got a DOJ problem and we need to be sticking by these judges. Maybe hey, the Supreme Court see how to. Like to say, ain't nobody coming to rescue us, but make it plain to the people. Who's doing this. And it's taking us away. It's isolating us. It's called isolation, which is the kiss of death, and we're getting that because of all the things that's going on right now, and we got to stay focused. And like I said, eggs. I was buying pasture-raised eggs, and a lot of people say those eggs are too high. Well, I like those eggs. Right now, like I said, the store don't have the eggs.
They don't even want you to have to raise a discussion.
So we don't care about, just don't mention the egg to us, because that's getting to be a little thorn in our side. It's getting to be a thorn. We don't care. You didn't say it. Okay, let's move beyond that.
Our public health is just dead now with the cutting of with Bobby Kennedy as Health and Human Secretary and cutting off the public health.
So we need to be addressing.
We need to stop talking more like politicians like Chuck Schumer, and we need to talk more like Steve Smith, and we need to talk more like Malcolm Nance, like America is and the world is under attack, because it is under attack.
And what's the other young man over there on the side that was Suzette Speaks was on his channel? Shout out to Suzette, because she's doing an excellent
Darnell Saint. DL Saint.
No, not DL. The other one that, no, not DL. DL does a good job too. But we'll figure it out. But anywho,
yeah.
The bottom line is we need somebody coming out there, because behind the scenes, when we're looking at this, as the people looking at this, it's becoming a little bit unfriendly, unnerving, because we got secular talk over there going off the deep end, and he's like, bro, and I love to hear him say that, but it's unnerving.
And how he said he made fun of bro. We're talking about the bro and everything like that, bro.
But what he's saying is that we need strong leaders, and like I said, leaders will emerge. But in the meantime, I don't want to hear any more Pelosi talks. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear about the eggs. I don't want to hear about the economy. And we
need to hear about our human rights and our job surviving, especially with AI technology that's coming, which is going to be even more problematic coming real soon. And losing our friends is not going to help. It's going to make matters even more worse and more dangerous.
And a lot of people have lost their jobs. We need to know how, these
and we need to
know get back to their jobs.
I don't even think they're going to be back to their jobs.
Well, that's a black and white issue, but I hope they get back to their jobs in the meantime.
With the tech.
Elon them broke it, so they came in, and all this is on their hands. All this is on the GO.
This is all on the Republican Party. This is all on the Republican Party, which I call them the Taliban Party, because that's what they are.
No, that's not what you call them. Before you call them the GO what?
I call them it's the grand old pussy party. That's what it is, because they ceded their authority to Elon Musk.
And he got all that information anyway, so why they got to hand over the power to the president? He done peaked everything anyway. So why you giving up more? I don't get that.
Why they're giving up more? Because I can tell you why they're giving up more. Because they don't want to govern. Because the GOP, the Grand Old Pussy Party, is not a governing party. It's not.
And so they've been up there collecting all this money, all this time, going getting their checks, and they ain't giving the people nothing. Just running around.
And here's their ideals for the Grand Old Pussy Party. The Grand Old Pussy Party's ideal is tax cuts for billionaires and millionaires, which is billionaires and millionaires don't need tax cuts, they need customers, which is they're killing their customers with health care in the first place. If they don't understand it, they're short-sighted.
Well, the bottom line is, it's like, okay, we're forcing you all to make a decision. Do you want to live like the way Trump wants you to live, or do you want to live like, your choice of what?
Your choice of ultimate freedom at this point, of freedom and responsibility. We need to stop looking for the word security, because the way the tech bros are acting, this is the end of the 9 to 5 at this point.
And everybody they sending over there, from Pete Hegseth to, we ain't making no friends. That's what they are.
No, we're making enemies. We're going to turn our allies into enemies at this point. And you're endangering most Americans abroad, which is even more dangerous right there.
So I'm going to go back over this list one more time. This time, the NATO members are the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. NATO includes 31 countries as of 2023. Now, this list can change at any given time.
And then the president is trying to withdraw from NATO.
So this list probably didn't change. People dropping off and saying, you know what, we not liking what he's saying. But I'm going to go with the list. It says United States and Canada, United Kingdom, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Norway, Denmark, Portugal, Iceland, Greece, Turkey, Czech Republic, Hungary, Poland, Bulgaria, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, Albania, Croatia, Montenegro, North Macedonia, and Finland. Now, I'm going to stop there. Did you hear Russia or did you hear China on that list?
Absolutely not. You did. I'll answer this. Absolutely not.
So, there you have it. From looking out in the mall and looking around, and as the mall was thinning out, we kind of feel like
It's just feel like we're in a zombie situation where when the country is on fire and the world is on fire, and the ADF that's going to be in second place in Germany. If you even raise that conversation, people are so scared they don't even want to touch it. Like one person even said, "Oh, let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about it."
well, we got to talk about
We
it.
have to talk about it because if we don't talk about it, that's how we got in this mess in the first place.
And
And that's like we're not talking with mental health. We don't talk about mental health. And what has it gotten us?
well, you know what? If they had to stay with the mental cruelty of the presidents, they would have been in a lot of better shape because,
And in better shape, if we had a fifth branch of government, which was the mental health profession,
well,
then we wouldn't be in this mess. 90% of our problems would never even exist.
well, you know what? The bottom line is, I'm going to say it again. To keep secular talk from going off, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Secular Talk because we enjoy your show too. But to keep him from going off, to calm him down, I understand what he's saying. And it looks terrible because if you're coming out here and you're still addressing the eggs and stuff, I'm just basically saying, I'm going to be honest. I do not want to hear about the eggs.
I don't want to hear about the
That's
economy.
not what I voted for. I knew exactly what I was voting for. And I knew all this stuff was being in plain sight. And I was hoping that we don't lose the friendship and relationships that we have from other countries. And we're seeing that fall apart as we speak.
And once that you start losing the friendship from other countries, it's going to be the destruction from the top down all the way down to the regular folks, because there's even friendships and relationships in the United States that have been broken because of the president's reelection, higher rate of divorces, families not even speaking to each other because of the voting for the president. And there's even the FOA movement because of it.
Okay, well, I'm going to say it again before we get off of here. The bottom line is we need somebody that's going to walk out there and, one party was the party without a backbone that always...
That's the Republicans, and the Democrats were...
No, one is what? One is spineless and the other one was...
Well, the one was spineless and another one is shameless.
Okay, and right now, everybody needs to kind of band together, which... That's another thing too. You're gonna have to realize that there's some people you're gonna be able to work with, that you can develop friendship and relationship. It ain't even gotta be a friend. You can negotiate with them. And some of you all got to learn it's not gonna be those talking points. It's not gonna be those negotiations. We're not gonna, we're not gonna even agree to disagree. You're just gonna have to look at it for what it really is. And what it comes down to now, it has been a tremendous overreach. We're not looking at Democrat, Republican. We're not looking at eggs and green eggs and ham or whatever and spam.
We're looking at the mental acuities and mental health and physical health.
And we're looking at the people.
The quality of people.
It is the people. You got to address the people. And that's what we feel like, all these people, and you running around here, we want to hear the plan for the people and what you have for our nation. Because, okay, you can lose friendship and relationships with the people. I'm not trying to blame the loss of the election that's passed. We're moving past that. But the bottom line is, We gotta keep those relationships. I don't care if maybe y'all need to write to the allies and say, hey, this ain't us over here trying
Then
to,
it's not us over here because I support this. I stand by the people in those nations.
let them know, hey,
That ain't us that
that's
did
not
that.
us over here doing this them. And we would like to keep, even I understand y'all.
And we don't get that I told you so discount like Reese Waters even said. And I said it out. I shout out to you, Reese, not Jesse Waters of Fox News. I love you, Reese.
But one thing too, I don't ever remember when number 44 became president, they got the GOP's got in their little huddle, their little football huddle, and said they wasn't gonna let him do anything. They want to go, and to hear somebody walk out there and say, well, we're gonna compromise, hell with that. You do what you have to do, as they say, DWIT. Do whatever it takes.
This is not a time for compromises. This is an emergency on war. You got to stop talking. Talk like you're in a wartime situation because we are at a war at this point. We got to sound like Malcolm Nance.
Well, I like Malcolm Nance too. Malcolm got his style. We got our style. But what we saying to them, these relationships that you're trying to develop and saying we're going to work through, we're going to do, that's not happening. You see it's not happening.
Bipartisanship is dead. It's way past dead. Like Secular Talk even said, bipartisanship is long dead. It's gone forever.
So I'm going to say it again to Hakeem Jeffries. I don't want to hear about the eggs anymore. That's out. I got maybe a carton left. Maybe if I don't think it's a carton there. But the bottom line is, the people need to hear from the Democrats. We don't want no more spinelessness. We need somebody that's gonna lead. And if you're not the person, then somebody needs to step up, just like Kamala stepped up. She didn't have that time, And what happened?
Or we do it ourselves. Or we'll primary you out and run ourselves.
Well, I'm not trying to primary this man out or anything. I'm just saying that I'm not satisfied. There are other people not satisfied. And the bottom line is, I can't hear about the eggs anymore. That's gone.
The inflation. It's never been about the eggs or the economy. It's about culture. It's about wiping. People. It's about wiping other people out so that
everybody have the right to be included. And
they're trying to get rid of inclusion.
And don't minimize. Don't lock anybody out. Because, like I said, we need all the friends and develop all the relationships. And here, like, if you have to send a few letters to a couple of countries and say, you know what, we don't have a house. We ain't got we know that the loss was great, but in the meantime, we need you in fight mode, not flight mode, but fight mode. We need you in fight mode. We need to feel like our leaders are not trying to crawl up under the table and this shit about wait till the
election. We may not even have an election because there might be people that's trying to disenfranchise.
But just waiting and
it's not going to work.
Start.
You got to start today.
Start now, because that was the problem with the Democrat. Because they was get up to a point when it's time to be elected, and now we'll start the process. Start this process now.
Learn from the conservatives. They started 50 years in advance.
We don't want to hear the whining. We don't want you spineless. So we just want you out here doing what you need to do, reassuring the people that you got a plan, that you need to be sticking by those judges, whatever they need. Be on that side. Be on that side. Try if this is your arm, then get closer to your arms.
And before we're out, now I know where Suzanne Speaks was at. It was Roland Martin. It was Roland Martin.
Thank you, Woody, because we love Roland Martin, too. And Roland be over there. He be hot about it, but you know what? He got
Roland tells the truth. And that's another one. We need to talk like Malcolm Nance. We need to talk like Roland Martin.
You need to talk like yourself.
And talk like yourself.
We don't need to talk like other people. We need to talk about like ourselves.
Well, like ourselves.
Like you're doing now.
Yeah.
Talk like yourself. We admire these other people. Okay? We admire Roland Martin. We admire Malcolm Nance. I love me some...
Secular Talk.
I love Secular Talk, but we need to be who we
are and ourselves.
Okay, they have been very good examples for us, and that's all we asking for. Leaders, people stepping out on their platform, Roland Martin saying, don't come over here thinking, that I'm going to back down. I'm going to say what I got to say. And I admire that about him.
And a lot of people did invite him because of it, but they
That's
don't
all right.
care. We don't care.
We like him, and shout out to him and
Don Lemon.
Everybody has their own style. We have our own style. Like I went through that process I wasn't trying to make YouTube understand about the thumbnail. I know they get on us about that. But on our side of the chart, we know that people can't identify that shit anyway. You got people that their minds are short. And they
5-second attention spans.
Yeah, and you put
people
a thumbnail out
fifth,
there, and they've been
grade.
telling you all for a long time. YouTube been saying you need to have this on the thumbnail. People, they can't even see that. They can't even read it. They can't read it, and we know that. That's just another way of these other companies making money. You got to buy more shit to put out there. But so much for that. I didn't got off a track on that. But don't let me get started. That's another video, another day. But in the meantime, hey, if you guys have to write to send a flag up or letting them know, hey, this blood ain't on our hands. We're not doing this. We're
fighting them every day.
You're coming out and you're telling people that, hey, we've lost connections in the United States and we don't want to use connections abroad. When you talk about U.S. aid, it makes us look like we are the most ruthless, uncaring damn people in the world, and we're not. And all the things that whatever Elon, the president, wherever his son somewhere cheering for him, whatever he's telling his little boy or whatever's going on in his head, it's a big tear up. It's a big tear up for our country. And
it's a big tear up, not just physically, it's a big tear off mentally.
Yeah. So we're going to get out of here. We just want you to know that's because they asked for suggestions, and one of my suggestions is
stop mentioning the eggs and stop mentioning about inflation, because yes, it may be important, but it's more about that. It's more about wiping culture out. They're wiping black people, Latino people. They're wiping out transgender people, LGBT people, anybody that's different from them. There's way more. The economy is just a cover for what they really want to do.
This is about the people and how the people want to live. And if the people want to live by the rules of a dictatorship, because you gotta, as they say, you gotta shit or get off the pot. And that moment in time is right now. It's staring us right in the face. And the bottom line is, get out there and back these judges. Whatever happened, because a lot of people ain't coming to rescue us. We already know that. But if your extension, your hand is the extended or the courts that's fighting these cases, then talk about that. Explain that to the people. Put it out there like Roland does, or Midas Touch, or Brian Tyler Combs, or
Adam Marketer.
Put it out there. 5-minute news. We're looking at all these channels, and
Tabitha Speaks is another one.
Yeah, and we know from the way they talk that if their heart is in it, and all this is stressful. This is on the mental health side. It's stressful, and they always talk about collaborations. They always talk about brands. And now you got to think. All these GO pussies then ran up there and stuck their name to this brand, and that's blood on their hands. They'll never, in history, people will never forget this. They
not
will
only never forget that or forgive them.
Yeah, no, you sold us out. People that you respected, and they say shit behind people's back. You ain't got the guts to come up and say it, and it's horrible. And we've lost a lot of respect. We lost a lot of respect for, people on one side of the chart. We lost respect on the Republican side. We've lost respect on the Democrat side. And we want to keep. I wasn't trying to be over there being MAGA friendly, no way, or Republican friendly anyway. And I'm not saying it's all the Republicans, because you got some Republicans out there that's speaking up. I get that, but all I'm saying to you guys is, it is about the people. and how we want to live. It's about the people, this country, and the Constitution, the rule of law, and it goes on and on. But like I said, I can't hear about that egg shit no more. That egg that's out. That's a dead ass talking point. It's dead. You know, we know the promises wasn't fulfilled. The war hadn't ended on one day. Those are dead talking points. Now get some new ones and show some balls, tenacity, and guts. Please. Because this has shaken a lot of people up. And it makes people back away, and it makes people it tears up that friendship and relationship. That's all we're saying.
It tears up friendships and relationships, and it also divides families.
And get you a shadow. What is this, shadow government?
And also to get yourself like what they do in foreign countries, a shadow cabinet, like they did in the UK, like they do in Canada. Get yourself a shadow government, because that's what we're going to have to do at this point.
So on that note, we did go off the deep end, but that's just how we feel. And if you want points, and just say,
if you want even more suggestions, I can even give you more suggestions what individually they can do. Like for instance, if you're not going to have if your job is automated, you're going to have to go to like at home work as well, because there are a lot of concerns.
Back in, they call
them back in so they can control you.
But before we leave off of here, we're supposed to get off a long time ago. But anyway, one of the things that they could do is bring up more people on their platforms, whether it's Democrat, Republican, and bring up the people that's got those stories out there that's saying, hey, my job was taken. This is what happened to me. Show these individuals. Bring them up. Bring them up on your platform. Let the public, let them know, because the people can tell their stories, and this is affecting across the board. It's affecting a lot of people.
It's affecting a lot of people's mental health. It's affecting mental health, and it's also physical health as well. And we're going to be seeing a lot more physical and mental health breakdowns. We're even going to be seeing pandemics.
Well, we didn't see the collaboration here was, when you collaborate on one side, it went from Democrat to Republican, from good to evil, from policy to the people, so
this is a fight between the soul of our nation. This is a fight between good and evil, and which side you're going to be on. And I know which side I'm going to be on. I'm on the side on the good, I'm on the side of the truth, and I'm on the side of freedom and not of security.
So on that note, we went over, and that's okay, but we're just letting you know that kill the egg, kill that. We don't want to hear it no more.
We don't want to hear about.
We don't want to hear. We want to hear about your plan. What steps you're gonna take. What you need to bring to the people. If it's something that they don't, understand, explain it in layman's terms. You haven't forgot the word layman's terms, because like I said, a lot of y'all get up here and it's like y'all talking to each other. Y'all not talking to the people, because a lot of people don't read, and a lot of people don't keep up with it, because for so long, it's okay to be intelligent. I ain't knocking that.
But a lot of people just read. A lot of people don't read. They're just going to the mall, just shopping about their day. And then when you try to bring up the topics where you're at the mall or things like that, they say, they're scaring me, don't even talk about it.
Well, bottom line is they got to reach the people. And the way to reach the people is to bring the people up and talk to the people. Don't talk at them, talk to them, and let them know that these are the things this is what we're going to put in effect. And we really hope that this can go off okay. I mean, we need those leaders out there. And shout out to AOC for standing her ground and telling my guy to read the Constitution. And before we go, I gotta say this, Wood. I don't know if they paid any attention. What the hell is Chuck Grassley doing up there, damn near 200 years old, but they raised all kind of hell about Biden? But on that note, that's just something else that I'm just throwing in at the end, because
I mean, Chuck Grassley has been around in Iowa since Iowa was a state. 1/3 of his public life.
But see, that's another problem with the parties. They listening to somebody that's damn near old as Methuselah, but yet and still they answering to him. They got to get this together. But I'm gonna get out of here, because we we wanted to come up again and say what we had to say, or over say what we had to say, and this was fun.
And this was really fun vlogging. We'll be back to live streaming soon enough, and we could be having some practical solutions like how can individuals can really protect during the time of your mental health plus the automation age that is coming.
So on that note, we're gonna close it out. And if you got outlaws, you know what to do with those outlaws. You got in-laws, you know what to do with your in-laws. Developing friends and relationships, that's very important.
Especially, it's more important now. Developing friendship and relationship is even more important today, more than ever. And if you can't do it individually, unions is also development of friends and relationships as well. They're trying to break it. Like
we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Okay. So on that note,
we are out.
There you go.